right, we are back with another episode of the Grunge Bible Podcast. Welcome, everyone. Welcome all, one and all. Is it welcome, one and all?
Welcome, one and all, I think.
One and all. This is episode 231. My name is Ethan Chalet. I'm joined by Chris Salona.
Yeah, you
this
are.
This is the Grunge Bible Podcast.
Grunge
Monday,
Bible.
August 25th. And we're excited to be here. This is Sunday morning we're recording, so it's almost the day of. Like we're within,
we're pushing it today.
We're right on it. So
I'm right on the line, Junior.
We're happy that everybody is here joining us for this episode. Happy you guys are making it through the summer. Because August is, we're about to move into everything.
This is the last podcast of August. Now we're about to get into everything after.
We're moving into everything after for the rest of the year, the last 3 months, the last quarter. So, yeah, it's a big time in life. Like we always say, college football just started up, and like everything's, as we talked about last episode, everything is coming to a head here. It seems like get your last bit of fun. So
that's
what we're doing. Yeah.
Always there.
We like to start every episode by asking how each other are doing. So, Chris, how are you doing, man?
I'm good, dude. I've had a pretty relaxing weekend, which is nice. I had a really good week, too, honestly. I went to a concert with the fellas on Wednesday night. I saw the Truck Fighters up in Cambridge, Massachusetts, which was absolutely sick. They were nails. It was so fun. Also very notable, this is the first ever show that I wore earplugs at. And the rumors are true, Ethan. I felt pretty good afterwards.
That's amazing, dude.
Dude, I never worn them because, not because I had some sort of stance where I'm not wearing earplugs because it doesn't sound the same, but I would always forget them. So I just wouldn't have them on me. I was like, well, I'm not gonna not be at the show. I'm not gonna stand in the back. So I remember gone to a couple of shows where my ears were ringing for 4 or 5 days afterwards.
Hurting for certain.
Yeah, it was hurting for certain. Yeah. So then we were getting ready to leave Wednesday, and my buddy Tom he's like, hey, do you have any? I was like, no, I forgot them. I didn't intend to bring them because I just never think about it. But he was like you want? I was like, yes, I do. And we got there, and the opener, the second opener was playing. I think it was a band called Restless Spirit from Long Island, New York. They were pretty good. 3 songs in, I was like, I have earplugs in my pocket. I'm gonna give them a whirl, and I didn't take them out. Yeah, and I felt so good afterwards. My ears would probably still be ringing. It was a really loud show, but it was so fucking fun. The Truck Fighters are absolutely incredible, and it was a nice night out, and felt pretty good about that. Next update, rifling through here. A lot of people, inquiring minds, want to know how my softball championship series went. And it didn't. It was postponed on account of field conditions. We got a whole bunch of rain Wednesday, probably an inch and a half of rain. And the field was not up to playing shape on Thursday, so the games were postponed. So the anticipation builds, but there's a nice caveat to it. Our left center fielder, who's pretty great he's great in the outfield, and he's pretty good with the stick in his hands too. He wasn't going to be able to make it this past week. He was on vacation, so we'll get him back in the lineup for this week. We've got a best of 3 starting at 6 p.m. Thursday night, and we're coming for the title, man. We won't be denied.
I love it, dude.
Yeah,
is there a live stream that may be able to?
You're not the first person to ask. We gotta rig something up. I have the time to rig it up. Let's get a
go live on Grunge Bible. 4 hours.
Yeah. We lose all of our followers.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited. We might. Myself and my buddy Luke, I play first, he plays second. We might go to the cages on Monday or Tuesday and get the swing right.
There you go.
We have to get dialed in. So I've been seeing the ball well. This is by far my best offensive season.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite. When batters are really hot, they're just I'm just seeing the ball really well.
I'm seeing it. Yeah, yeah, for sure. So that was good. Had a good weekend. Lifting's going really well. I'm competing in a meet on October 4th. So it's the New England Championships. So I'm gonna see what I can do there. But starting to get climb altitude. I'm closing in on some bests here, and hope to get them in the bag. So things are good with me. How are things with you?
Man, I'm doing pretty well. Yeah, I'm in the little bit of a busy time. We had a wedding last Friday, and then I have a wedding this coming Friday. So 2 Friday weddings, and you know what they say about Friday weddings. People don't like them, but then at the end of the day, when you have all day Saturday and all day Sunday to recover, you're like, that's pretty nice.
You kind of like them.
Yeah. So Friday we had a Shalloway wedding, and um, we've talked about this a few times, but I don't know if I've ever said it, but my family name has an interesting story to it,
Yeah.
and and it's one of those things. So my dad he was one of four boys, but he was 10 years removed from his next brother, and then
Right.
15 and 17. So there's a big age gap. So
That's significant.
yeah, and so if you imagine, like, I mean, one, all my cousins are like 50 years old, and all of his brothers were a lot older, and but like his cousins, so his his father was one of nine, and ended up putting him like his cousins are really old too. I don't know. There's a bunch of there's a bunch of people that are
Bunch
older
of
than
ins, outs, and what have
so you
yous.
got cousins, you got like his like he was an uncle when he was like six.
Yeah.
So it's all
Starting
it's all
young.
messed. Yeah, so it gets really confusing. But an interesting part, my grandfather, he was one of nine kids, and they were Shellaways, Shellaway, and he was in World War II. And as the story goes, they misspelled his name on his dog tag, and they just made Alaway, so just
Hmm.
Shalloway. And I guess he was like, I don't know if it was his choice or he was just like, yeah, that's fine, or I don't know how it happened, but the name changed right there. So Shalloway is only what, three generations now, four generations big, as far as like there's only so many of us. So it is cool. It's always cool to get together with everybody and talk about it, because we just like, everybody just loves bringing it up, or like how Shalloways are rare breeds, because there's really not many of us.
Yeah.
And it's cool. I don't know, like, yeah, I guess name changing is back. Like I feel like I feel like I've talked about it a lot with people.
It's all the rage.
Stage names, all this stuff. Yeah. But anyway, so we had a Shalloway wedding, and it was awesome. Maybe got a little bit too silly, if you will, drinking
That
and whatnot.
happens.
But it was awesome. We were in rare form. And then this week I gotta go back to Nashville for a wedding. So yeah,
The
dude.
hits
I
keep
mean,
on coming, man.
and like it's like college buddies. Like there's certain weddings where you just like know. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. And I got a wedding in Nashville with like college friends, dude. I am looking forward to it, but at the same time, like, I need a reprieve. So
Yeah. Needs shelter from the storm.
yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be a good week. I mean, everything's kind of rolling. We got fantasy football drafts coming up. Ours is Tuesday. We're in a
I
league
know, man.
together. And I'm excited for that, because all of a sudden football's here, and the fall is, I mean, this past week was like 70s, 75,
Yeah.
and it was
50s
awesome.
in the morning. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
like no
exactly what you
humidity at
want.
night. Like it's been really crisp, and like
Yeah.
it is sweet. So
We're
I'm
hitting our
like,
stride.
yep, we're in this. We're about to be in the sweet spot.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
we're pumped up.
Yeah, we
So yeah,
are.
everything's doing solid. This is I've had 3 weeks where I have not focused on working out, and
Yeah. Good
I
to
gave
reset.
3 weeks. It's so hard though. It's hard to go. It's just not out of the routine. But so I'm looking to. We're about to start back up here, so I'm pumped about that. But
Hell yeah.
where does the time go in the
Who
day?
knows where the time goes, man? It's crazy. Time
All right.
goes. Here we are,
Here
episode
we are.
231
230.
times. And if you are here, you may be wondering how you can support us. Just give us your money. There's a Patreon link in the show notes, and you can join that at $2, $5, or $10 a month. And if you join at the $10 or higher, if you want to choose your own adventure, we'll say your name on the podcast every single week. And I'm going to do that now. I'm going to thank our top tier supporters on Patreon. If I can find the Patreon web, there it is. All right, we'd like to start way up at the top as we normally do. Abraham and Frank are leading the way. And then we have Cracker Man, and we would like to thank Doug Endy, Black Hole Sean, A Bit Dusty, Eddie Vedder got me through my second divorce, Heidi and Chains, Go To John, Carlene Salona, Jamie Lynn, King Buzzo Stole My Hair, Looking California, Feeling Minnesota, Russell, Nikki Six, The Michael Dooley Project, Seattle 4 Fanboy from New Jersey, Sherry Matthews, Ultra Mega OK, and What the Fuck Is Up Denny's. Thanks everyone for your support. If you don't want to give us your money, I suggest you reconsider and then move on to give us your money. But if not, like, share, subscribe, share with a friend, give us some feedback, write a review, tell us what you don't like about the show. Anything like that will do.
All free
Also,
game, yeah.
for those watching on YouTube, the proud few on YouTube, very important. In lieu of softball, I am wearing my hat that I wear when I play softball.
So I saw this, and I was about to ask, do you guys have jerseys and shirts. I know you guys are a law firm name, so you don't go like and back in the little league, we were the Oakland A's. Like,
Oh
we
yeah.
took a name, but do you
We
do you have
do
a uniform?
actually. Yeah, we have a uniform.
Okay, good. A
We've gone.
mascot?
We're the Sharks actually.
The
So
Sharks. Okay.
I'm not sure what the origin was, but this firm had a softball team in the '80s, and they coined themselves the Sharks. And they had a super cool logo of like a shark with a bat in one hand and a beer in the other hand. So we
Bring it
used,
back.
yeah, we used throwback jerseys last year. We had that logo, or 2 years ago actually. We used it, but we're not doing it this year. We have more of a traditional design. But for the first time this year, we have names and numbers on the back of our jerseys, so that's pretty good. But the name on the front is a hell of a lot more important than the name on the back. But yeah, so we have jerseys, pretty solid. I'm number 13 this year. So my buddy Lucas and I, we like every single year we pick an obscure baseball player from the 2000s who we would like to emulate for the following year. So we started one year, I wanted to be Rich Aurelia and he wanted to be Mark Gruzelanic. Last year I wanted to be John Olerud and he was Mark Bellhorn, so we tried to model our games after that. And this year I picked 13 because of Doug Minkavich, the glove first baseman of the 2000s, who caught the final out in the '04 World Series for the Sox. And my buddy Lucas is embodying Mark Loretta, who played for the Red Sox for 1 year at second base in 2006. So we're rolling along here. That's why he's number 3 in honor of Mark Loretta, and I'm number 13 in honor of Doug Minkavich.
See, that's amazing, and that's something that the other team has no idea.
They have no idea.
They have no
They
idea.
don't know.
They're playing checkers, and you guys are playing chess. That's why you guys are.
Yeah, but for some reason, I'm wearing a Minnesota Twins hat. I went to a Twins game in 2017, I think, and I liked the hat, so I bought one.
Of course.
And I remember I was running out to like the first game. I was like, I need a hat, and I decided to choose this one, and it's been my softball hat ever since.
Yeah, baseball caps are great. I feel like there's a Twins hat here. Like, I feel
baseball
like they
caps-
show up.
Yeah, and also it is a non-zero chance because he does follow the page, but I'm sure he doesn't listen to the podcast. But standout starting pitcher for the Minnesota Twins, Joe Ryan, has been a longtime follower of the page, so I'm wearing this in honor of the mighty Joe Ryan. There were rumors that the Red Sox were going to acquire him at the trade deadline, but it didn't come to fruit. Hopefully, maybe this offseason we can make a deal for him and get him on the East Coast. He's a hell of a pitcher.
Incredible.
And he's got great music taste. He did some collab with like a merch line with like the Grateful Dead and stuff, and like he's always kind of poking around in those spaces.
I'll have to see that.
He's been on I think he's been on some like dead centric podcasts. So perhaps, maybe once the season ends we throw a line. We throw him a line in the words of Jerry Cantrell.
That'd be awesome. See if
Get him on the show.
See if he wants to talk some. That'd be great.
And talk ball.
Yeah. Last question I have about softball.
All right.
Do you wear pants or do you wear shorts? Do you
I don't wear
never to
pants. I wear shorts. I just
do
wear
you,
running
do you
shorts.
slide?
I don't slide. No, I'll never. I'll never slide on the base paths. But like if I have to like get dirty to like catch a ball or something, I'll do that. But like you can run through the bag, which is nice. So it's faster, obviously. So I just run through. It's funny because like I'm not a fast human being, but like for this league, like apparently I've become renowned for my speed. And like I bat leadoff, and like I don't know, like you hit the ball the gap, you could at least get on third. Like I had an inside the park home run the last game that we played because you just run, I don't know.
Yeah, you play chicken with them. Like, yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta make a throw.
Some heady plays, like I scored on a sac fly to shallow left field. Like the shortstop grabbed it, but he hesitated because I wasn't going immediately. He got it. He brought it back down to his hip area, and I went and I scored. So speed is a weapon.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm not a big baseball pants guy when it came to softball back in the day.
Yeah,
But
I don't believe
hit them
in
out.
it.
You don't need to. You don't need to slide.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. So no pants for me. So let's get into this day in music for Monday, August 25th here. I'll start off with this one. On this day in 1949, Gene Simmons of Kiss is born. So happy birthday to Gene Simmons. But we were talking before we went on the air. I don't get Kiss. I don't particularly hold their music in high regard. I just don't understand it.
Yeah, no, we missed that, and that's too much.
I have no desire. Like I can't even pretend.
No, me neither. And his nickname is the Demon. His stage name.
So stupid.
I don't like that.
Well, then
If
they
I'm
did
being
that
honest.
bullshit where they were
If
like,
I'm being
"Oh,
honest, it's dumb.
yeah," and they did some bullshit where they're like, "Oh yeah, like it's our last show," and like the day after their last show, they're like, "We're coming back in hologram form," and like it was like somehow tied up in like I don't know if it wasn't like NFTs, but it was like something cringy to the equivalent where they're like, "We're still back," and everybody was pissed off at them. But I don't
That's
know.
rough.
I don't know. I don't see what the big deal is with Kiss.
Yeah, I remember somebody in high school went to, well, and most people they get really dressed up, obviously, and they paint their faces for the concerts, and I'm just glad that I'm part of that.
Yeah, me too.
That's the only way to, it's the only way to put it.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving to 1970, pretty historic day. Elton John plays for the first time in the United States,
That's huge.
and pretty substantial, Mr. John.
Oh yeah, Elton Hercules John. He's
Hercules,
back.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's fantastic.
55 years ago. Crazy. 55.
It's a lifetime.
It really is.
This works out well. The 50th anniversary of this album here. On this day in 1975, Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band released their third studio album, Born to Run, which by and large, put them on the map, so to speak, and the meteoric rise had officially begun. A really, really cool caveat for it is they actually, the day the record came out, they started the tour for the record, and the first show was in Providence, Rhode Island, my hometown. So
That's awesome.
super, super cool. I can't speak highly enough about this album. It is one of my favorites of all time. If you listen to the show, you know, but I mean, just absolutely unbelievable. For those who are interested, I mean, there's only 8 songs on it. Lately, my favorite one has been Backstreets. I actually, I've started a playlist of perfect songs. I've got 6 of them on there, and Backstreets is one of them.
That's awesome.
It's just absolutely powerhouse of a song. So 50 years of Born to Run is bonkers.
I can't believe that
It's a lifetime.
50-year anniversaries for, I don't know. I was never like, as big of a Bruce fan as you were. So
Right.
like, it's kind of like the history, just like time passed. And like, I always forget that he was making music. I mean, that was his third album. So, he probably making
Started in
music.
71, 72, like,
Yeah.
crazy
That's
stuff.
It's a long time.
Yeah, it is.
Speaking of long time,
Oh, we're gonna skip the
long
foreplay.
time. Skip the foreplay. Long time. In 1976, Boston released their self-titled debut album, which has become 17 times platinum over or whatever. And
That's just in the U.S. too.
I mean, this album has More Than a Feeling, Peace of Mind, and then Foreplay, long time. I think on the first side that were the singles. And the Boston, like, I don't know, my dad was a big Boston fan, or maybe I just heard it enough when I was young. It's still it was on the radio or something. But like, when I think of classic rock, like Boston is like right there. It's like the one of the bands I think of immediately, type of thing.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the first 4 songs, once again, like, if you get the record
Rock
for
and
the
roll,
first
yeah.
time, you've never heard them. More Than a Feeling, Peace of Mind, Foreplay, Long Time, and then Rock and Roll Band. And then Smokin', Hitch a Ride,
Yeah.
Something About You, Let Me Take You Home Tonight. Like,
It's legit the perfect album.
dude, Peace of Mind is one of the best driving songs in human recorded history.
Yeah.
Boston is unbelievable. 49 years for this thing. Looking forward to celebrating.
And this is the album cover is like this sick, like,
Spaceship or something,
UFO type of looking. Like, it also look like a bunch of mushrooms. Like, it's awesome, dude. It's such a cool logo.
Yeah, that's a huge record. It'll never go out of style.
No,
So-
I don't want it to. I mean,
No.
I'm definitely gonna be listening to someone when we get
Yeah.
off here. I'm pumped.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always a good time to put this record on. I can't say the same about this next song that we're going to commemorate. On this day in 1979, My Sharona by The Knack hits #1 on the U.S. chart, where it would begin a 6-week stay. And I've had multiple people in my life, the chorus is like, "Da-na-na-na-na-na, my Sharona." I've had multiple people, from teachers to friends to you name it, use that and go,
Salona.
"My Salona." Da-na-na-na-na.
That's
And,
awesome.
Yeah, so that was actually I didn't know what the song was before. And
Right.
it was like my sophomore year theology teacher in high school used to do that with my name. And I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But yeah, not, the Knack is not, that's like with the Roxannes of the world for me.
Yeah. Well, Weird Al covered it to My Bologna, and
Even better.
even better. Yeah, and so it's a good song when Weird Al covers it. I just watched Weird Al has they have a movie, where
Yeah.
Elijah Wood plays him, and
Hmm.
it was pretty funny. It's
Not
good,
bad, man.
not bad. I know you're indifferent about Mr. Yankovic, but it is pretty cool. But I know that song because of Weird Al. Basically, I mean,
Yeah. A lot of
yeah,
people know a lot of songs just because of Weird Al.
yeah. But it's a show of prestige. Um, all right, moving on. 1988, Metallica releases their fourth studio album, "And Justice for All," and great album title.
Oh yeah.
Great album title. Yeah, Metallica. I feel like I don't have a ton of time with this album. Like,
Yeah, I don't either. The only I'm not a big Metallica person, as I think we've talked about before. Like I kind of missed the boat on it, and it's not really my bag. But
ride the
once
lightning type of guy.
I mean, I remember a couple episodes ago, I think we were talking about like, as a kid with like bands. And I mean, shit, we're always talking about that. But I remember like when my friends were like learning guitar, my one buddy who like we used to go over to his house and like he had the instruments as I shared the story a couple of weeks ago or maybe it was months ago, I don't know, but one was like one of the
Yep.
songs that he learned, and like similarly at the time, like you hear one of your buddies in 6th or 7th grade play the opening guitar riff to one, like the da na na na, and you're like, this is the coolest thing ever,
Huge.
like I need a
It was
guitar
huge.
right now, yeah, like I'm gonna be a rock star. And yeah, that was like my first really big introduction to
Yeah.
Metallica, I would say, even before some of the other ones like Enter Sandman or For Whom the Bell Tolls. Or I remember around that time, I think Death Magnetic was the name of the album they put out in like the 2000s or something. And I remember there was The Day That Never Comes was like a Metallica song like I was a fan
yeah.
of back. Yeah, 2008. That was right around 7th grade for me. So I remember they came out. I was like, hell yeah, The Day That Never Comes. It was great. But yeah, I don't really have much to say about Metallica outside of that.
Yeah, they definitely like. I mean, I don't know. I do like Metallica, right?
Yeah.
But when you were younger, and like, I don't want to. I don't know. Uh, I don't want to make them sound worse than they are, comparing them to Guns N' Roses. But like, when you like heard the beginnings to like, yeah, one For Whom the Bell Tolls,
Enter Sandman.
the Unforgiven, yeah. Like those songs, like the intros, like
Yeah.
to me, the intros are so much better than the entirety of the song.
100%.
And that's how like Guns N' Roses, like Sweet Child of Mine, and like a few of the songs, like when you listen to them as a kid, you're
Paradise
just
City. It's great
Yeah.
until Axel starts singing.
like, yeah. And when you're younger, like those would come on and be like, this is like the sickest intro.
Like it doesn't get
I
better
didn't,
than this.
I didn't know, like, yeah, I didn't know that they could have like the Unforgiven was like unreal.
Like
you
they're
know?
allowed to do this. This is pretty.
Yeah.
It was pretty great.
But then they get to the actual like the rest of the song, and you're just like, all right. Not as good as the intro, but yeah,
Yeah.
but something like those Guns N' Roses definitely occupies that,
Yeah.
or at least a shock value when you were a kid. And you're like, Guns N' Roses are like, we talked about this like I think 2 weeks ago. It's like, what a name, what a
Yeah.
everything, like Slash. You start learning about, but then they get a little older, and you're like, you know what, I'm out.
Yeah, it all starts with Guns N' Roses. It's like, why is Slash wearing the hat? and then the mystique wears off. Like, all right, buddy,
We get it, dude.
He's still doing it.
Yeah, well, that's so funny. Like the glasses, the hat, the long
I
hair,
know.
like.
Dude, super funny. I know we've shared a lot of lore with this man that I'm about to talk about here, but
The Hat Man.
Well, the Hat Man, obviously, but longtime YouTube guitar teaching stalwart Marty Schwartz. He's worn a fedora like his whole guitar teaching career, and he just he just did a YouTube video. Like I don't really watch him anymore because I don't play much guitar. I don't really learn much anymore. But he released a YouTube video. He's like, why I always wear the hat. Like he told the story, like he like auditioned like for this YouTube channel that used to do guitar lessons, and like he showed up for his first lesson, and like the guy who was recording it was like he just showed up in like a t-shirt, and the guy was like are you gonna dress like that for it? He's like, well, yeah. He's like, I have a fedora in my car that somebody just gave me. Like, should I wear that? And he was like, yeah, wear that. So like he wore it, and evidently like in the days of YouTube before like thumbnail, like YouTube would automatically select a thumbnail. But apparently, like they released that video of him in the fedora, but it was like a rotating cast on this YouTube channel, and like people just kept commenting on the subsequent videos that Marty wasn't in, where they were like, "Hey, like, can you get the guy with the hat back? Like he was pretty good. That was a good lesson." So then he was like, it was a marketing thing for him at the time, where he's like, if people see the hat in the thumbnail, they were gonna click on it, and to the to this day, he always wears the fedora on his guitar lessons. But it was pretty great.
That's a great origin story.
Yeah, Liquid Schwartz.
Okay, where's the guy with the hat?
Where's
Like,
the guy
bring
with
him
the hat?
back.
Let's get him back in the mix. So
That's so funny.
that was pretty good. Yeah, man, that's this day in music for August 25th. I think as we have to do, because we are the Grunge Bible podcast, we're getting to the time of year where the album anniversaries just keep hitting us left and right. And we had one just a few days ago, and we actually will have another one in 2 days' time. So we got to spend some time talking about these albums. But on August 21st. Alice in Chains' Facelift turned 35, released on August 21st of 1990. So I think we got to spend some time talking about that, in addition to the fact that this is the week that Pearl Jam's 10 turns 34, originally released on August 27th of 1991. So I believe we're going to be spending some time, probably the remainder of the episode, just kind of riffing on this. So I want to start with Facelift here, just because, as time goes on, like Alice in Chains is kind of firmly entrenched itself once again with like the late teens, early 20s crowd. Like it seems like they're a cool band to like. And just anecdotally, I live near Providence College in Providence, Rhode Island, and all the kids are coming back to school now. Like they're moving into campus. All the off-campus kids are moving into their apartments and whatnot. And obviously before school starts, you move in August. Like you're just day drinking the whole time. Like they have the plywood boards for pong set up in the yards and everything. And I was out for a walk yesterday, and one of the groups was blasting "Bleed the Freak" by Alice in Chains from the Facelift album. So I was like, I had one of those moments where I was like, you know what, the kids are all right.
Now, did you feel old enough to be able to like walk over there and be like, guys, this song, you guys are way ahead of your time listening to Bleed the Freak on the lawn?
I thought about it, but then I was like,
at what age do you start complimenting the youth for what they're doing?
And at what age can you stop complimenting the youth because it becomes weird because you're like tangibly older than them? So like I had that thought, and I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm just like, they already know about this. Like, I'm just going to let them have their experience with it. Like I did not approach, but it was very heartening to hear that. It was funny. I was listening to my headphones.
Maybe they were celebrating the 30th anniversary.
They might have been.
and they were listening to it front to back.
They were just ripping it. It was funny. I had headphones in, and like my Instagram sometimes is buggy where like I'll be out of the app and like it'll still play the audio from like whatever post. They haven't fixed it for years. It's disastrous. So I was listening to an audio book, and like I had Instagram open, but like I closed it, put it back in my pocket, and like I heard "Bleed the Freak." I was like, it's like, is this playing like in my headphones from Instagram? Like I couldn't believe it, and I took my headphones out, and I was like, somebody's playing "Bleed the Freak" right now. Like this is pretty good. So it was a great experience, but this one's always it's never far from anybody's mind. Certainly never far from the page. Never far from the requests that we get, and we did a podcast episode. Yeah, we've done it all with this one.
We've done it.
Similar to like the Boston thing where it's like, you drop the needle and play, or you put it in your CD, player for the first time, and "We Die Young," "Man in the Box," "Sea of Sorrow," "Bleed the Freak," for the first four songs. And speaking, I think lately "Sea of Sorrow" is my favorite one from this album. I once again, like, I've been big no surprise. I've been big into like the beginnings of songs, and like the beginning of that one is just badass. I think it was Sea of Sorrow that Chris Cafaro has told us time and again it is the best stripper song ever ever recorded.
Oh my gosh.
So every time I hear that, I think of him saying that. And
I forgot about that.
I've never been to a strip club. Like it's never been something that's on my list of to-dos. And like I've not been to like a bachelor party where it's like, hey, we're going to a strip club, and like a couple of nights, like we've been hanging out all day, and like invariably there's always somebody in the friend group who's like, yo, we gotta go to the strip club. We're like, all right, like that's my time to bow out. And I've just never been, but I have to imagine it probably wouldn't be a bad stripper song.
Yeah, I just put on Facelift for the.
Yeah, dude. I don't know, man, but yeah,
I think you could be onto something.
Yeah, like I mean, Chris could never tell a lie.
Yeah, the strippers probably thinking that bleed the freak for the try to bleed you for all your money.
Yeah, exactly.
Bleed the freak.
I can't remember how much money I've spent.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great. Every time you pull up a track list for AIC albums, I'm always like, oh man, like all bangers, they all hit, and every time they're one of the better bands to like just kind of put on and listen to front to back. Like some bands, you just it's not really possible. But every time like you put them on, you're like, oh wow, these songs are all like I've had to rate every song. Like I feel like usually they're pretty high. Like well, they're always good.
Yeah, the cool thing about Facelift is like this was changed before they even reached their final form. Like Jerry didn't really sing too much on this record. And Lane had encouraged him, and obviously when we get to Dirt and obviously Sap as well, and everything to come, like Jerry really gets his vocals going. It's always crazy, you have somebody in the band who's not singing. It's like, hey, maybe you should take some vocal parts, and like not only like is it cool for the variety and the harmonies, but like Jerry's voice is really fucking good. And it's quintessential, and obviously the interplay with Lane's, but this is kind of I hate to, like, I see a bunch of posts like there's a lot of accounts that try to emulate what we do or copy what we do or just rip posts from us, and like I see people are writing about this album like, oh, on this day, whatever, like officially started the grunge era with a bang. Like, fuck you, this isn't grunge. Like, this is just fucking like great rock music, metal. Like this has nothing to do, in my opinion, with everything that came. Like, you got to evaluate it on its own merit. And like they didn't release this with like, we're starting a revolution, we're starting a new era. Like, no, they're like, hey, we just got signed, we're putting our first record out, and we're gonna like make a lot of money and get a bunch of babes and like sing about cool stuff. And that's what they did.
Just think, like 6 years ago, 8 years ago, that was us talking like the start of grunge, and people were yelling at us saying that's not when it started.
No, and we learned.
now we're in that position.
Old man yells at cloud, and this is why I didn't approach those gentlemen that were playing Bleed the Freak.
Yeah. Well, I think you would have been in the right. Well, I guess like if you're only. Yeah, I'll leave it. We'll let a dead dog lie there.
Yeah, we don't have enough time to bag on some Instagram pages that we don't like, but
oh yeah, that too.
Yeah, we got to do an episode on that where we name names.
I'm down to name names.
Yeah, me too.
I'll name names right now. Actually,
I'll do it.
Chris, I actually got a text, and Jerry Cantrell's in Allentown on the September 2nd, and I got a text.
Does Doug Endy have tickets?
Doug Endy, yes.
Doug's got tickets.
Doug's got tickets. I don't know if he has like, if he just, I know him and our friend Andy are going. Yeah. Not Andy Engelman. He's waiting for Andy Engelman, and I are both on the wait list for Doug's tickets.
Oh man.
So I don't know.
That might be worth it to like scoop some tickets though, and like you and Andy go and join them. Like,
it'd be great.
It's always a great show.
The only problem is I'll be in Nashville on the weekend. So it's just another reason to rush home. Dude. And I'm just like, oh man. Like,
well, the problem
I'd love to go see.
And
Jerry.
you've not seen Jerry without insane amounts of duress
or phlegm. Yeah,
phlegm. Well, that time you drove to Nashville like that day to go see it, and Jerry was sick as a dog. And obviously that was at the Ryman, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
It was awesome, but it was not. Yeah. He was like, I think he canceled like a few shows before and it was
Yeah.
like the
He's like,
tail end of his
I
sickness.
gotta
But he's
play the
like,
rhyming.
yeah, he's like, yeah, exactly. He's like, I'm good. So no, I'm like, it's on my, it's like penciled in on the calendar, like Jerry C question mark. So
Yeah.
we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated. I mean,
Yeah.
it'll be a Tuesday night, but
Yeah.
Allentown's not far, so.
Well, the cool thing about seeing a Jerry show is like you go for all parts of it. Like it's not like, for example, like I don't just go to a Jerry show just to hear him play the Alice in Chains songs. Like I do
Yeah.
love his solo stuff as well.
Right.
And it's just always a really, really great show. Good energy too. So, and you're guaranteed to hear some of the hits too. But it's fun too, because like you don't know which Alice in Chains songs he's going to play. Like sometimes he plays like Sea of Sorrow or whatnot. And then other times, maybe get Rooster or something. So.
I guess is he still touring I Want Blood?
Oh yeah, he's still
This
touring.
is
I
the
Want
tour?
Blood.
I forgot. Yeah, this is
Dude,
I Want Blood,
he
dude.
hasn't had enough of it yet. His cup is running over with blood.
Dude, he's for now on, he's going to be known as the guy who wanted blood. So
Yeah,
that's great.
I can only hope there's enough for him. So, and once again, I always make this this remark that it is kind of like a weird feeling of the passing of time, because like when we started this page, these albums were turning 20 and 25 and 35. That's a really, really long time. Like it won't be long. Like I remember vividly reading like a post when Born to Run, the Springsteen album, turned 40, and like now that one's turning 50, and like pretty soon like the albums, like the early 90s like grunge adjacent albums are going to be turning 40. Like I'm not ready for that.
No, man. That is wild. It is. Yeah, now that you're starting to remember certain anniversaries and you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
But as far as Alice in Chains albums go, like I've been spending a lot of time with the Three Leg Dog album, and also some of like the second iteration of Chains with Duval. Like I've been listening to some of those.
Yeah.
But I mean, far and away, I think Facelift is still the one that I spend the most time listening to, because it's like the one Chains album where like you don't have to be incredibly sad to listen to. Like it's kind of,
Yeah.
it's not as dark as some of the ones that came afterwards. But
it's heavy.
always
So
fun
that,
celebrating this one. Got a lot of good content out there on the page for it that people have been enjoying, and I've been enjoying. So happy 35th birthday to Facelift.
Also, I love the album cover.
So sick, right?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the bright
Like, negative
green
picture of,
yeah.
I don't even know what's going on there, but it's great.
We did I think we talked about it once, and I can't remember. We don't need to get into it though.
Yeah, we don't need.
But it is awesome. It's iconic. A great one.
Sure is, man. And that's
Speaking
the
of
one.
iconic.
Speaking of iconic, 10.
We're going to the last good thing that Pearl Jam ever did, in the words of Chris
Also,
Cafaro.
according to Chris Cafaro, we're sharing a lot of Cafaro wisdom.
Yeah, I remember in the beginning when we were getting into it, he liked this album. He still does. So, which everybody does. This album.
Well, it was the first time that we spoke to him, because we saw Pearl Jam,
That's
and
right.
we called him the day afterwards. Like it was our first time talking to him. It was like
In
he's like-
Chicago.
It's like, what are you guys up to? He's like, oh, we just saw Pearl Jam last night. He's like, they're still touring. They haven't done anything good since 10. And we were like, whoa, easy there, buddy. But hey, people have their opinions. People have their thoughts.
That was like 10 years ago, almost 2016, right?
That was the 2018 show in Chicago. Yeah,
That's right.
We saw in Wrigley there, which that was also. I forgot, like we could have done an episode and like looking back at some of those shows, but those anniversaries have passed. But people don't care about our experiences at the shows; they care about the songs themselves. But 34 years, man, for this one. And we've done every single year, we've done a dedicated episode about 10. And I remember we did like 10 great things about the album. And, once again, this is, the territory of everything has been said, but, it's such a titanic album. And really, too, also, like without this album and like if we didn't discover it at the time that we did, like I don't think we would be doing the page. Like 10 was the one. And those songs were really the things that kind of, got its grip around us and brought us into this whole era of music. And, here we are so many years later still.
I mean, there was
doing it.
definitely a few, maybe a few songs here and there, but I would say collectively that we can thank 10 for getting this whole thing going, right? Like, Because in the
Yeah,
beginning, like we didn't necessarily. Well, I guess we didn't necessarily like Jeremy back then,
that's true. Yeah,
Or Rooster.
we were out on those until we heard the vocals only, and we're like, holy shit, man! Like this is it's pretty good. But yeah, this was like
This album was, yeah, this really was it.
the first one that I went out and got a CD of, like after like we started getting into the grunge era, and like I remember it was right around the time like 2016, like I was driving out to Iowa, which was like a 20-hour drive, and like I listened to this like front to back several times, and then I remember it was getting late and I was almost finished with the drive. I had just passed over the Illinois-Iowa border, and I was like, let me get some radio going on instead. Like I've listened to my CDs all the time, and lo and behold, Ethan, I'll never forget it. I was tuned in to try to find a station with a good signal, and I tuned in right at the time there was this rock station. We're like, all right, like we're about to start our front to back play of Pearl Jam's 10. And I was like, I was like, it's fate. I can't get away from this one. And you better believe I listened to it, even though I had the CD going several times on that drive. But
That's awesome.
my thoughts with this one have obviously evolved over the years, having spent, the better part of a decade with this album now, having, entrenched myself with Pearl Jam. But, I remember at the time, like you're learning the discography, which songs are on which albums, and who's playing on which albums too. And my appreciation for Dave Cruzen drumming on this has grown as time has gone on. And it's kind of interesting. He's been seemingly ever since Matt Cameron announced that he's stepping away from Pearl Jam, like Cruzen has been doing a little bit more social media related to 10. Like he did, I forget what it's
He's like,
called.
hey, remember me?
yeah, he was like, I did it. And he was inducted with Pearl Jam to the Rock Hall of Fame, much to the chagrin of Dave Averzies. But and he played at the Rock Hall of Fame. He played, I think he played Alive and Jeremy or something with the band that day when they were inducted. And I don't know that there's I don't know if there's smoke there that he's spent a lot more time in the Pearl Jam zone lately. But that would obviously be very interesting. But I have so much appreciation for his work on this album. Like a lot of people, I think, kind of assume that like Dave played on 10, because Dave Aberzees played on 10, not Dave Cruzen, but because Dave Cruzen left so quickly after 10. But there's some really fantastic drumming here on this one, and it's kind of like full circle because like Matt Cameron played on a bunch of the demos for this, and then Dave Cruzen comes in, and then obviously they made their bones with Dave Aberzees live. But why can't we all just get along when it comes to Pearl Jam drummers, man? They're all fantastic. And without Cruzen, like I mean, this album is certainly different, and I just love the way that he played on it, and I love all these songs still. I still get a lot of enjoyment out of this one.
One thing I don't know what it is about it, the track list, that I love that they're all one word minus Even Flow and
Even
Why
Flow's
Go.
the only one. Yeah.
And Why Go. Those two songs, but like everything else is just like one word. Like Jeremy, Oceans, Porch, Garden, Deep, Black.
Yeah.
Like I love it. I think it's, for some reason I just it's like a list of 10 things, 10 songs. It's like
funny too because
it's just like a well packaged thing.
Yeah.
And obviously that's why it did so well. And the music's great.
And it was funny too because at the time, like after 10 and even like with verses and everything, like they had gotten, flack isn't the right word, but people noticed that. And I remember hearing a story at the time that on verses, elderly woman behind the counter in a small town was a very intentional rebuttal to the fact that all of their song titles were like one or two words.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, you guys want wordy titles? Well, here you go.
Yeah. And then they went in another universe, that was a Midwest emo song, The Elderly Woman Behind the Counter.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's like a really popular Midwest emo song in another band.
Yeah, and then the B side of it was like, I tried to pay with my card, but they were cash only, so I couldn't get the Gatorade that I wanted. And it's like the saddest song in human history.
Yeah, or it's the heaviest song you've ever heard.
Yeah, exactly. It's like heavier than 4th of July by Soundgarden or something. Crazy stuff. But yeah, similarly to Facelift, like, there's a lot of stuff around the grunge era that like I don't really go out of my way to listen to, and like I'm kind of over. But like 10, Facelift, like I'll never be over them. And like, because especially with 10, the amount of time I've spent with it and the amount of listens that I've given it, like every single time, like I still very vividly remember and I can recall the feelings that I had the first time, and like that it was so special to me at that time makes it special to me now.
Right.
And that's just a connection that isn't going to go away, which, you know, it goes away with a lot of albums and a lot of songs and a lot of bands even. But this one is still as vivid and as powerful for me as it was back in the day when I was, you know, a teenager getting into this stuff for the first time.
Yeah, yeah, that's why, man, that's why music has such a special place, is it can really timestamp,
Yeah.
feelings and whatnot. And I find it like, it's like that's why I like listening to new music, right? You
Yes.
never know you never know, like, oh, this album, this first album by PD, like, no idea what type of feelings it could evoke until time passes. Like, you just have no idea. And like this out, obviously, like all the grunge memories we have and stuff, from listening together or concerts, like, yeah, you just never know when you can have those feelings. But rather than trying to say recreate or kind of play back stuff, that's why I like listening to new stuff
Yeah.
all the time.
Hmm.
Where um yeah, as far as exploring certain grunge things, it has to come very organically. Like, it has to be, I can't go searching like
No.
the depths of,
Yeah, when it feels like a
The
project,
Melvins right now. Yeah, like I can't be deep into Tad, like really trying to be like, I need this song to mean something.
Yeah, there's a few people very frequently on the page like, we need more Tad on the page, and I was like, okay, like, first of all, like, do we? Second of all, like, I don't know, like, what Tad there is out there that I can give, you know, like, especially like there's not a bunch of live video, you know, for Tad that you can find that's like that's decent enough quality
Right.
that it can properly convey, you know, why we need more Tad, you know.
Right.
But there's a lot for 10, so you better believe we'll keep playing that hit over and over and over again. But
That's
I have
funny.
to say, like, I think my favorite from 10 has been unchanged from the first time that I listened. Like, it's always going to be Release. That's the one for me. And I don't
Yeah,
think
it's
that's
really hard
changed at
not
all.
to it's hard not to give it its credit, right?
Yeah, yeah. Like, the Release's stock has been sky high for me, and it's
Yeah.
always going to be that way. You know, in terms of like the popular songs on this one, like, I do love Alive. Like, that's another song that like is not going to get old in the way that
Yeah.
Even Flow has gotten quite old for me.
It's
Um,
true. Alive totally, like, it, I feel like people were trying to box it in. Like, Even Flow has like been officially, like, boxed
yeah,
in and made a mockery at times. But like Alive, I feel like broke out of that. And it's now it's kind of cool to like Alive again.
yeah, I
And
think
like
so.
because they just jam so hard every time you listen. Like, if you watch a live version and if you want to watch a good live version of any songs, a live is perfect one to do, because
Yeah.
they always rip.
Absolutely. Yeah. And also, like, I mean, Porch, I mean, I have Porch
Yeah, I know.
tattooed.
Yeah,
I have it. I have it on my body. But, you know, even like, I mean, Garden and Deep especially,
and I love
that's,
Why Go, and I
yeah,
mean,
dude, they're all,
Once. I mean, really, like, yeah, every song has its place.
yeah, they've all got their
They're all
moments.
they're all really good. But yeah, I go with Release.
Stunning development on episode 231.
The
10,
boys
pretty
realize this. Yeah, the boys realize that 10 is actually a pretty good album.
good. 10's a good album. What a surprise, man.
That's funny.
Oh man, 34 years for this thing. So I've started pooling some posts to make about this one on the
Mhm.
27th. So I'll be looking forward to doing that.
No, like you said, everything has been said before by not just us, but a lot of people. And we have a few a few albums. We posted, well, I can't talk, a few podcast episodes over the years. Go around this date. I think it was 162 and 120, something
Whatever
like that.
this episode is, minus
Yeah,
52.
there you go. Yeah, a simple 185 or something. So there are some other stuff you can go listen to, maybe go a little bit deeper into the songs and whatnot. But we
Yeah.
just wanted to bring it up. I mean, both these albums are excellent, and
Oh yeah.
there's a lot of albums coming up that we're gonna have to bring up and do kind of similar things. So
Oh yeah. it's the time of the season for all this kind of thing. So
Hmm.
we'll be spinning a lot of that. But I think we can probably leave it there for those two albums. And like you
Yeah.
said, Ethan, you know, I know we have at least one album review for both of those records. And I mean, our tenth podcast episode was our first ever album review, and it was for
Yep.
10 by Pearl Jam. So you know, you can go back to the before times, back in 2021
Yeah.
when we were doing that, and go ahead and give that sucker a listen. But
Hard to believe.
definitely going to be. I spent a lot of time with Facelift this weekend, and I think I'll be spinning some 10 to celebrate 34 years of it.
All right. Last thing we need to do is a little songs of the week.
Oh yeah,
And Chris, I'll go first.
cool.
Um, I have been really hammering Grateful Dead, Goose, Eggy, Mo, like playing disc golf, just hanging out, like working on the job, or just like I'll just put on the Dead concert. It was like 5 hours. I didn't make it all the way through, but like we've been hammering all this stuff. But I'm not going to go there because I think last week I maybe said an Eggy song, which they are a great band and you guys should get into them. But I was playing music with Andy on Thursday, and we were playing a few different songs. We were going around. We were playing some Screaming Trees. We were playing all the Meat Puppets. We were playing because we have a list of songs that we learned. Like, now it was 2019 when we played.
You guys are fine tuned now.
Well, it's been 6 years, so we have like our songs. But anyway, so I started clicking through, and I ended up coming to Green Day because we played She, and I was clicking around
Okay.
on Green Day, and I went to American Idiot, and I put on Jesus of Suburbia, and
Wow.
I was like, dude, this song rips. I was like, this album is so cool, and I was like, I just was clicking through. I was like, oh my gosh, and Jesus of Suburbia is such a good song, and it needs to be listened to today. It's good. Drew knows that Drew was a huge American Idiot fan, but
Oh
like.
yeah.
I'm gonna make sure I'll send it over to you, and like, so let's go
Put
Green
that
Day,
in the
Jesus Suburbia.
GB Pod HQ
yeah.
group chat.
I was like, man, I was like, this is a great song, great album.
It's fantastic. Great song of the week.
Yeah, simple, but forgotten because it's Green Day, so I'm sure people don't like. Oh man, I should listen to Green Day more. No one does that. No one really does that. So here's your sign.
That's fantastic. Excellent. My song of the week is going to be from the show that I saw, Truck Fighters. I think I probably had this as a song of the week in the past, but I'm going with Desert Cruiser, far and away the most popular Truck Fighter song and the one that they close their shows with. And I'm so happy that I was able to see it live. My three buddies that I went to the show with, they saw the Truck Fighters in Boston in like late February of 2020, and it was the final show that they went to pre-COVID. And I wasn't even friends with them at that time because I was still living out in Iowa. But once like I became friends with them, and like once like we kind of realized that we all kind of have similar music tastes, and that all of that, sharing music, they're like, dude, like we saw the Truck Fighters like last show before COVID, and it was unbelievable. So like ever since then, we've spoken very frequently, all four of us, about how like we need to see the Truck Fighters again. They need to see them again, and I need to see them for the first time. So when they announced this tour, like we immediately bought the tickets, and it was like, let's go. And it
awesome.
lived up to the very lofty expectations. It was so sick. The venue was super cool. It was like a 350 cap venue, and there's probably maybe 300 or so people, but it was awesome, dude. Like the mosh pit was going pretty heavy, and like the next day, like we were texting, and we are like, why do our necks hurt so much? My neck hurt so much just because of all the fucking headbanging we were doing.
Yep.
And I was so sore because like we were in the pit for the whole show, and it was awesome, dude. It was fantastic. So I got to add that as a
Desert
song of the
Cruiser.
week. Yeah, man, it's just a absolute powerhouse. And
Maybe I'll find a live version and put it on.
oh yeah,
If they have that on Spotify.
Yeah, they do. They did a Live in London album in 2016, and I think you got to give that one a go. You know what? I'll add the Live in London version on Songs of the Week.
Perfect.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
That's what we'll do. That's what we're gonna go with. So it was sick. It was a great show. Looking forward to the next one. We're gonna try to see Mannequin Pussy. They're coming to Providence.
They opened for Jerry, right?
No, that was Thunder Pussy. We've got our pussies mixed up. Yeah, so we're trying to go, but they're playing a small venue. This is one of those things where like they've gotten more popular as this tour has gone on. So like they're kind of underbooked in Providence in terms of venue capacity. So it's sold out. So we're trying, and like the resale tickets are like $250. So like it's very expensive. So I'm trying to either see if they release some day of tickets or try to use what goodwill we've built with having a big Instagram page to somehow find a way in. So I'm trying to get tickets for it, just because it's always anytime you can go to a show with the boys, it's a good
Wait,
a good night.
so Mannequin is the head? Or?
Yeah, Mannequin. It's their tour. It's Mannequin Pussy's tour. Yeah, so like they're headlining.
Oh wow, and their tickets are like $250 on resale.
Yeah. Well, the problem is like they sold out pretty instantly. And
it's small.
It's a pretty small venue. It's like 600-700 people or something. So we're gonna try to get in for that, and that's probably my next show that's on the docket here. So. But that's a side, it's always funny too, because like, I'm not sure like if like your friends or your parents do this where it's like, oh, I'm going to a show, like, oh yeah, who are you seeing? I'm like, mom, like you won't know the band. So like, I'm not going to say. It's like, oh, who are you seeing? I'm seeing Mannequin Pussy. Like, okay.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
See. But yeah, Truck Fighters, 10 out of 10. They still have some tour dates. So if you're listening to this podcast and you're in the US, check to see if they're coming to a city near you. I recommend, buy a $20 ticket and go. It's a great rock show. So that's my words of wisdom. But dude, surgical precision that we accomplished this podcast episode with. I know we've got to be heading out the door here. So want to thank everybody for listening. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much to Drew McFadden, our producer, for continuing to be on this journey with us. You know how to support us, and thank you for supporting us for all of this time. And that's about it, man.
Well, I'll have to bring Drew on an episode so I can hear how he's doing. See how I check in with him. I gotta check in with that guy.
Do a live check-in.
He's still hammering away. He's doing a great job. So thank you, everybody. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week. And stay heavy out there.
Stay heavy. Rock and roll.
Rock and roll.